All right, hey everybody, welcome back. Today's episode is called The House of Cards We Call Success, also known as the Hit Delusion. This episode explores how modern culture trains us to chase the appearance of excellence, intensity, and status while neglecting the functional foundations that create real true value. The House of Cards We Call Success is really about a bigger problem underneath physical fitness, performance, status, and even relationships. It's about what I call the staged value illusion. The staged value illusion is when we reward the appearance of value more than actual value. We learn this young. In school, we're taught through the A to F grading system that a passing grade is not enough. A 70% is a pass. That means you learned enough material to pass. Yet instead of recognizing that learning in progress, the message often becomes a C is mediocre. You may get labeled a C student, and that label carries shame. Meanwhile, the student who gets the A or A plus is rewarded, praised, and elevated, sometimes publicly. Yet here's the issue. The system often doesn't really care how the result was achieved. Maybe the student deeply understood the material. Maybe they memorized it. Maybe they copied it from their neighbor. Maybe they gamed the system. The appearance of excellence gets rewarded more than the substance of learning. That's the staged value illusion. It teaches us that looking exceptional matters more than building a real foundation. And we carry that lesson into adulthood. We take it into the gym all of the time. Instead of building basic movement, flexibility, strength, posture, coordination, and foundational endurance, which are the C-level basics that actually matter, we many times skip straight to what looks impressive. We may jump into high-intensity interval training because it sounds sexy. It sounds advanced. It sounds like something a high performer would do. Yet many people enter those classes without the movement quality, mobility, balance, or strength foundation to support the work without risking injury. So what happens? They overcompensate. In fact, many can barely squat well, and in essence, as a result, the knees take the brunt of that. They can't truly control their body. They haven't mastered the basics, and now they're in an intense environment trying to perform intensity before actually earning it. And from the perspective of a personal fitness trainer, that truly pains me. Not because I'm judging anyone for where they're starting, quite the opposite. The issue is not that people are starting from zero. The issue is that our culture teaches people to feel ashamed of starting where they actually are. Many people who genuinely want to transform their fitness do not need to begin with the most intense thing in the building. They may need to start with walking a quarter mile, a half mile, a mile, or a stationary bike. They may need to start with basic resistance training, mobility, balance, posture, and mechanics. If time is valuable, and it is, why not invest in the activity most likely to restore movement, build strength, improve balance, and potentially address the root causes of pain that often come from poor mechanics, weak muscles, and tight muscles? As a trainer, I feel a responsibility to be truthful about this. What kind of coach would I be if I just pretended I didn't see this going on? That's where the cognitive dissonance comes in for me. And then, instead of using high-intensity interval training for what it actually offers, it becomes another stage. Because high-intensity training, when used appropriately, can be incredibly valuable. It's my passion, and it's not just about sweating or burning calories. It can stimulate absolutely powerful benefits in the body and brain, including things like BDNF and growth-related adaptations. There's also research suggesting major cardiovascular benefits, reversing the age of our mitochondria, even in previously sedentary adults. In other words, the true wealth of that training is profound. Yet many people in the big corporate gym environments do not utilize HIIT classes for those specific benefits. Some approach group fitness like a badge of honor. You may overhear at times, I took 3 classes today, I do high intensity interval training. And sometimes the staged value illusion doesn't just show up in the participant. It can show up in the system around them that actually promotes that kind of thinking. A big corporate franchise owner may value a fully booked class more than a smaller number of people who are actually legitimately transforming, moving better, getting stronger, becoming more balanced, flexible, and building something sustainable for the rest of their lives. And in that case, the metric becomes attendance rather than transformation. Now it's not about adaptation. It's not about health. It's not about longevity. It's about display. That's the HIIT delusion. It's confusing intensity with progress and performance with foundation. I've done versions of this myself. Many years ago, I was just being silly one day. I did a cartwheel and I caught it in a photo at just the right moment, and it looked like a handstand, a free handstand off the wall. I posted it online, and the speed with which I received 500 or more likes for this staged illusion was shocking. Right away I felt guilty because I knew it wasn't really what it appeared to be. I was being a fraud. I immediately commented that it was just a cartwheel, everyone. You can relax. And that moment stuck with me because it captured the whole issue. People reward the image first. And when image gets rewarded over reality, people start building their lives like houses of cards. No foundation, just presentation. Then the big bad wolf comes by and blows the whole thing down. That doesn't just happen in fitness. It happens in many places, such as with money. We confuse the appearance of wealth with actual wealth. A luxury car, designer clothes, a big home, status symbols, those things can project success. Yet someone can look wealthy on the outside and be bankrupt internally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, relationally, financially bankrupt. They may have no empathy, terrible health, no peace, no real strength, no actual stability, yet the stage looks phenomenal. It can happen in relationships also. Sometimes the truth is we're not attracted to a person's character, depth, or values. We're attracted to how good they look standing next to us. We fall in love with the image, the chemistry, the social value and status of being chosen by someone attractive. That can also be staged value illusion. And it happens in real estate. Imagine a house is beautifully staged. It smells just like baked apple pie. The lighting is perfect. The furniture tells a story. You can picture your family there. Yet, then the furniture is removed, and now you're left with the actual structure. The old furnace, the noise from the street, the problems you didn't notice because you were so seduced by the presentation. And real estate has its own version of this staged value illusion in other ways too. In some markets, there are even Circle of Excellence sales awards built around sales volume and units closed. So what this is the visible metric is being rewarded of the production volume, how much was sold, how many deals were closed, not necessarily the deeper substance underneath that success. Again, staged value illusion. And ultimately, it happens with the body itself. We put enormous value on external appearance. The body becomes the main scorecard. We compete and then we compare to see if we measure up. Yet one day, that body is gone. Whatever your beliefs are, this physical form does not stay. That may be a hard pill to swallow. The external staging does not last. So if we build our identity around the visible layer only, we are investing in something temporary. Real value is deeper. Real health starts internally. It starts with mindset. It starts with motivation, discipline, daily actions that build genuine capacity, performed consistently. The basics are not boring. The basics are the foundation. And that may be the hardest lesson of all in a culture addicted to display. Passing is not failure, foundation is not mediocrity, and looking impressive is not the same as being strong. That is the staged value illusion. That is the HIIT delusion. All right, everyone. Thanks for stopping by today, and I will see you again soon.